Hello everybody, my name is Andrew McGinnis and I am the Chairman of the Kingston Board of Assessors. To my left is Meredith Rafiki, the Assistant Assessor. To my right is Carol McCoy, the Kingston Town Accountant and recently appointed Supervisor of the Assessing Staff. We have asked for this opportunity to speak with you today so that we can bring clarity to an issue that has been brought to our attention by our small business community. That is the assessment of personal property tax. I'd like to turn it over to Carol. She will provide you with a brief overview of the situation and, more importantly, a plan to resolve the issue which has arisen. Thank you. Carol?
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate this opportunity to share relevant information concerning personal property taxes and to propose a resolution to the Board of Assessors which is fair and equitable. As a foundation for this discussion, it is important to understand that in April of 2010, at the Kingston Annual Town Meeting, our citizens voted upon and approved Article 13, which adopted a state statute establishing a value of $5,000 as the minimum value of personal property subject to taxation. Let me be clear on what that means. The personal property owned by businesses is subject to assessment and taxation. However, Kingston residents have voted to exempt business owners with personal assets valued at less than $5,000. The basic legal premise has been verified by the Massachusetts Department of Revenue and is now reflected in their up-to-date online materials. The Department of Revenue, Division of Local Services, had erroneous information posted on their site stating the exemption amount as $5,000 or less. Through the efforts of the assessing staff, the DOR website now correctly reflects the exemption amount of $4,999 or less. It is important to understand that the personal property tax statutes include taxpayers submitting a form to the assessing department by March 1st of each year. That self-reporting form provides an estimate of the value of the business owner's personal property. The assessors may accept that business owner's estimate, ask for permission to inspect the property, or assess a different value based upon its knowledge of the industry. If the business owner fails to submit what is known as a State Form 2, also known as Form of List, by March 1st, then that business owner loses its ability to be granted an overvaluation abatement and its right of recourse through the Appellate Tax Board. In spite of the town meeting action of 2010, 172 businesses were never assessed or charged personal property taxes. Clearly, that oversight resulted in an increased burden on our residential class. Using information collected from the town clerk's office to capture businesses registered to do business in the town of Kingston and other research conducted, 172 businesses were taxed earlier this month for the very first time. Most, if not all, of those businesses failed to submit proper documentation by March 1st, 2018, therefore currently forfeiting any right they had to be granted an abatement or to bring their case before the Appellate Tax Board when their abatement application gets denied. Since the personal property tax bills were sent out in January, the Assessor's Office has received important feedback, which has been heard loud and clear. Some business owners did not understand their reporting obligations. Other business owners felt that the assessment was unfair. Many small business owners felt that the value of their personal property should have made them exempt from taxation. In fact, other small businesses were out of business. Many of these arguments are found to be reasonable. The purpose of this appearance today is to introduce a plan. While state law does not permit an extension of the abatement filing period, which ends by the close of business on Friday, February 1st, the assessors are allowed to review abatement applications even if forms of list had not previously been provided by business owners but filed after an extension of time for such filing. I have suggested to the Chairman of the Board of Assessors and anticipate that the Board will vote affirmatively that the time for filing the State Form 2 form of list for fiscal 2019 taxes be extended from March 1st, 2018 to February 1st, 2019, subject to any applicable state approvals, in an effort to allow taxpayers relief if, after review, the assessors deem their property was overvalued. Therefore, upon such affirmative vote by the Board of Assessors, the Assessor's Office will take filings of forms of list with applications for abatements on personal property taxes. If applications for abatements have already been filed, or if you have been told that you are not eligible for an abatement for failure to submit the proper form by March 1st, 2018, it is encouraged that you come back in. However, I must be clear, a form of list must be provided, available online or at the Assessor's Office. Shortly thereafter, all abatement applications with corresponding documents will be presented to the Board of Assessors for a decision. The Town of Kingston in general, and the Assessing Department in particular, is committed to treating its citizens as highly valued customers. It is acknowledged that the Assessing Department could have done a better job in communicating the process to those businesses who had never been billed previously. While the town has the absolute right and duty to do so, it is regretful that personal property tax bills were sent to first-time recipients without first providing notice. All applications for abatement and corresponding forms of list, State Form 2, must be in the Assessor's Office on or before the close of business, 12 p.m. on February 1st, or postmarked on or before February 1st. Please note that February 1st is a Friday, and the town offices close at noon. Pursuant to statute, Mass General Laws, Chapter 59, Section 61, the assessors cannot grant an overvaluation abatement if no form of list, State Form 2, is provided. To this end, I look forward to working as a team with our officials and assessing staff so as to ensure the best possible services to the Kingston residents and small businesses. This presentation will be available on the Town of Kingston's website, PAC TV, and on YouTube very shortly. Thank you. That's a wrap. Good.
Feels on my-